last time with Check the Effects on the Smart Rail series. Now we're doing this portion which is going to allow our trains autonomously to stop for each other when they arrive at the intersection. Keep an eye on left and right. Sorry, on right and center. I'll take a look at left. There goes left. Left is going first. See which one goes next. Okay, center is going next. Left is reloaded. We have the next one is going to be left again. So left goes next. And it goes off to its station. We have 2 on 4. Okay, and finally we should have right let go as well. There goes right. Okay, let's take a look at our stations. Transit, you want to take a look at the this one here, and I'll take a look at the one on the other end. You can check a look at center as well. Okay, so let's take a look. I have on station number 4. I have station number 4 here, and over here again, another one for station number 4. Oh, those other carts, whoops, looks like they bounced back because of what happened with that previous one there. Station 1 to station 1. You want to check center? We have station number 3 at station number 2 and 3. So that works. Hey everybody, it's Check the Effects coming at you with another Minecraft tutorial, and today we're continuing on with the Smart Rail series. In this tutorial, I was trying to go ahead and go into the aesthetics of making this thing, nicer, the Smart Rail switching system. But what I found it was a little bit too big for one little tutorial, so this is going to end up being its own little sub-tutorial, so I'm going to have to split this up into several episodes, unless you guys want to have, a whole tutorial that's over an hour long, and I don't think you want to listen to that, so we're going to be breaking this up. So this tutorial is this episode here is about just explaining this aesthetics. I have something already prepared, going into certain little aspects of what we can do to make this thing nicer, and also talking about certain little additions that we can make that I will be discussing in future tutorials, which will probably be a lot shorter than my typical ones because they're a lot smaller and simpler little tidbits here and there that you can add to your system as nice to haves, or more even adding things like security, ease of use for your users, making things a lot more pleasant looking and things like that, a little more interactive with the users as well. So this is what this tutorial is going to be covering. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So for this tutorial, we're going to be doing a lot of testing in this case. So we're going to need your tickets, and also you're going to need some minecart chests. You're also going to need your basic building block, which I used polished diorite. Also for some of the contraptions, you're going to need redstone dust, repeaters, comparators, redstone torches, and let's see about droppers. We definitely need droppers, as well as an anvil. So let's go here and get yourself an anvil. I'm going to get myself an anvil, so we're going to need that too as well. So let's get into this. Now about the most aesthetic parts, we'll also be using a second block. In this case, I'm using stone brick. So let's get ourselves a stone brick here, as well as other things such as stone brick stairs and some stone brick slabs. And let's get into this. So if you look here, I've already got this thing started for the most part for stations 2 and 3. That's on this end here. I forgot to put the sign back, but you guys gotta trust me, that's station 2 and 3. Over here, we have station number 1. You can see from here. And, oops, sorry, station number 4. You have station number 4 over here. And on this side, way down here, we'll be having station number 1. Now, if I go over here, you'll see that I've built this whole thing like a tunnel. So there are 3 ways that you can go about building this. One is underground, one is above the ground, also the third is underwater. Now, we're going to be covering underground first of all, and some aspects of tunnels, etc. First of all, you want to go into your basic tunnel. So I'm just going to go in here, and you'll be able to see that. So you have your basic elements of your tunnel. So what I like to use is have these blocks of logs like this, and these act like support beams. You got support beams, so like a post and lintel type of scenario which acts as support beams, and that adds a little bit of depth to the tunnel itself rather than having just a monotonous little box that you're going through. Also, having the torches up is a nice touch. You can also add some sea lanterns in here to make it a little more brighter and, you know, make it a little bit nicer. You can do other things to decorate this as you please. Just remember, always try and create some depth in your builds. On the practical side, when you're creating the tunnels, first of all, you want to think about how you lay out your track. The way you should do it is half slab, rail, half slab, rail, half slab, and then your walls on either side. I like to keep it about 4 tall on the walls and then 1 more block up, so 5 total, and then you have your roof going across. And what we'll do is we'll space this out once every 8 or so. Now here you don't really need this going this far like this. You actually can take this out, and I don't know why I ended up putting this like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that. But you don't need to have it every 8 rails where you have power rail, but you just need, this should be a little bit shorter, you just need 1 every 16. So from here to here is 8, and there's another 8 over here, and then you have this one over here that will be another 8 apart. Now this is going into the intersection where it splits off. Okay, now you'll notice there's one part that's coming in. It comes in from here, and this is the part where you see from the test ramp it'll go into here. Now why do we have glass here? Is so that, you know, people can go in but they can't come out unless they so why do we have glass here? Is so that people, if let's say they're from this side, can't get in through here unless they have a key. Now if you can see here, I have a mechanism here, a little dropper that's been renamed as lock. Now I can go ahead and put a key in here, and that's going to open this door. Now the key is any item that you want renamed using an anvil. So in this case I chose to use an emerald, and what happens is if I put my key in the lock here, the door opens and I get the key straight back into my inventory. In this case my hotbar. If I push the button here, that allows me out so that I can get out, but I need a key to get back in again. So again, watch what happens. If I put it in the lock, I have another dropper over here called key return. I renamed it to key return to make it easier for users to understand what it is, and I get my key out of the key return. If I try putting something in the key return, nothing happens. If I try putting another item into the lock, nothing happens. So if I put my key in my lock, there we go, I can go through. And now I can go in and inspect the rails if I happen to be a person who is part of the maintenance team or whatever the case is. I can go up here and check, you know, is there anything up in the bump back ramp, you know, the one-way ramp that's there. I can check these traffic lights. That's another add-on we can add there, and, you know, do various other tasks that I need to do as a maintenance crew. So remember also, when we're doing this, we're going to continue on with having your rails here, and you have a little walkway that's a half slab that's around here, and you keep on going like this. Anytime you have a ramp like this, you'd have stairs up along the sides to make it easy for people to go up and down. Now here's a spot that I missed. You want to put a half slab on this section here. I completely missed that, but it should go like that, right? So that you don't have any mobs spawning here, and you want to make sure you keep it like this as well over here. Now let's see here. Okay, looks like I can't add something there. Oh, these are half slabs already, so that's just fine. So I think we put quartz half slabs in this case. So you could, you know, put quartz on here. Whatever the case is, whatever your taste is, you can change it up as need be. So this here is a traffic light, and essentially it is exactly what you think it is. It basically, when it's green, means go, and red means stop. And what this is essentially a interface for the user that lets you know, okay, I'm supposed to be stopped here because the light is red, and they don't try to fidget and jump out of their cart and stuff like that. And there's a sign there. It says the sign says traffic light. please wait for the green light, so that you will stop and wait for the green light down there. So here we have my train, and I'm going to put in, let's see, I'm going to go to station number 1. Let's go to station number 1. So station number 1, I'm going to hop in. Oops, I almost went to make sure, when you want to hop in, you got to make sure you're not flying if you're in creative. And then push the button here, and away you go. Straight, so you go right through the glass without suffocating, because glass is treated by like a solid block and an air block at the same time. Now I just gotta wait, see it's red, there the light turns green, and I'm on my way. See? There you can see, I'm at station number 1. And we know that this works from our previous tutorials. There's my key, so my ticket, station number 1. So here I have the basic mechanism for the traffic light. It's very, very easy, as you can see, very simple. And this would just be your input. So when you have power coming in, it turns to the bottom one, which we have set as green. And when there's power not coming in, it goes up there to red, which is the one on the top. And that's essentially how it works. Very, very simple. And I will explain how this works and interacts and how you can hook this up to your system over there when we go into the next tutorial on this particular one. So I'll have a little short tutorial on that. Likewise, I will have another tutorial in regards to this, the lock mechanism, just to show how this works and how you can make this for your system as well. Okay, so we're inside where the processing ramp is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this, and over here you can see the same old elements I was talking about. Okay, now here, this behind here, if I were to break through this, you will see that we have, oops, one of these here, which is a redstone torch going into a repeater, which is hard powering this block. This is to make sure that this here, this rail, is forced to turn in that direction only. So in order to cover this up, you know, we can have a little thing here, but in order to cover it up, what we do is we have this as a stone brick block, and then we just have stairs going up and over it, you know, just so that it makes it look nice. And also you have a little slab on the top, if you're wondering what this is. So it's slab, slab, stairs, block and slab, stairs, slab, and then it goes over to the next one. Now also when you have these ramps that go up and down, especially like ones that go into your turning ramps, you should also have these as well, which are basically your stairs, slab on top of a block, and stairs and then slab over there. Now also for these ramps that go up and into the turn, you want to make sure you have something like this as well. For this, in this case, you have stairs here, a slab on top of a block, and then stairs again, and then it goes into slabs on either side, or half slabs there. Okay. Over here, you want to make sure that at every single point where you would otherwise have a flat block, like the one you have underneath this rail, that there is a slab covering it in order to make your tunnel mob-proof. Now, for your rail system, there are going to be situations where you don't meet your typical height requirements, etc. So let's take this rail coming in, for instance. In this case, we keep it going as stone brick until we hit this part here, because this is going to be a roof for this part. So over here you see this section is a little lower. That's because we have rail going above us and we don't want to break that. And if you look through here, you can see that rail right there. And I have this little fence here just to make sure that no one tries to do any type of funny business by, you know, the ender pearling through here or doing some other stuff that might be considered dumb or might mess things up. So that's why we have this put there for practical reasons there. Again, you have your bump back one there, and here you have a single rail here going straight out. Now this is coming towards station 2 and 3 from station 1 or station 4 over on the other side there. So we would be going straight through here, and you can see it's slab, rail, slab, and then your walls on either side. In this case, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then the roof goes right across the ceiling there. Then it keeps on going here and goes out in this direction and comes out here. Now, a nice little safety feature you may want to add is to have a little light here that would indicate when there's an oncoming train coming in this direction. And what you could do is put a redstone lamp with a sign next to it saying, oncoming train coming towards, in this direction when this light is turned on. And what you can do here is, you notice there is a detector rail here. You can easily attach the detector rail to that lamp over here, such that it will turn on the lamp when the train is going by, and it would stay on until it passes through. So that's a nice thing to have, and it's also good to have like one here and one here just to be on the safe side. So having two of them would be a good idea. And I'll be saving how to hook this up to the lights and all that in another tutorial. It's fairly simple, so it shouldn't take too long, but I want to make sure to keep this episode short. So if we're going to build a tunnel, first of all, we're going to start with a 7-wide base. And we're going to go ahead and put your thing here. You're going to put your wall up. So it's be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to just go to fill this up. 3, 4, 5, like so. And then you're just going to fill this up. Now I'm just going to go ahead and use World Edit because it's just a lot faster to do so. So let me just go get ahead my little wand out here. Now we're on our server that we have for the Jinsu Empire. And the owner has a thing for apples, so he made the wand an apple. So let's go ahead and set this to stone 4. This is your andesite. And again, I'm going to put on the same side here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same thing over here. Put that there. Okay, and it's going to be like that. Next, you're going to want to fill this whole thing up right across like this. So you have your 4 and then your 5th block, and it's going to keep on filling this up until you're done. I'm just going to go ahead and make this a little faster. So you end up with something that looks like this when you're done. So now we're going to get our logs, and of course we want to extend this out a little bit. First of all, like that. Come on. There we go. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 out like this and go like all the way up. And then 2, 3, 4 all the way up like that. Get your torches like this. Oop, actually, you want to put the torches a little bit lower. Or, no, actually put them up one. So one like that, one like that. One like that. Let's break these two and let's bring this right across like that, so sideways, so it looks like it's basically one big log sitting on these two beams here, these posts. Okay, you're gonna take your stone slabs, bring them right across, stone slabs, bring them right across. Okay, now I went ahead and just moved this up a little bit using World Edit because I just wanted to get this thing to appear nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a redstone torch and put that here, and then I'm going to replace my block that I broke, right? And what we're going to do is, oops, actually, you know what, I have to put it not there. Take that out, put a block there, and then 2 redstone torches like that. My mistake. And we're going to go ahead and put your slabs right down the middle like this. Now we can take our rails here, and let's put our rails in, and we could do one of two things. We could either put powered rail here because of the redstone torch below, or we could put regular rail depending on the situation. Now let's see here, we have 1, 2, 3 on this side, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. Let's add a sea lantern in. Why not? So I'm going to add a sea lantern just for some added brightness. Okay, so I'm going to put sea lantern right in there. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, if I want to, I can stack this with using World Edit, or I can just repeat this over by building the same thing over by hand. So I'm going to go ahead and stack it. Okay, once, and there we go. Now the second one here, we don't need to have powered rails, so I'm going to take these out. There we go. And now you've got your basic tunnel unit with your 2 sets of lampposts and your proper lighting that's there. So this should all be centered. So this is centered with this, and this will be a centered relative to that. Now, if we took the whole thing and kept repeating it, since it's a modular unit, we can have this keeping on going for as long as we want. Now let's say we're coming to a situation where we have a turn. So we're going to need our powered rail as well as our regular rail on this one. And what's going to happen is, let's say we have a turn that's going to come out here. So first of all, we're going to make this go out like this. And we're also going to have to make sure that this comes out like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going across. So this is where your wall will continue, like that. And it will also continue on through to here as well, right? All the way like this. I'm going to go ahead and build this up and continue on. Okay, so we have our walls built. And then what we do is we're going to go ahead and fill this up for our roof. And I'll get this done and be right back. There we go. So we have that done. So now we're just going to continue building this up. Now up here, we're going to do is we're going to have this like this, and we're going to put another block like this up there, and then we're also going to take another one like this. So it's going to be like a cube type of scenario. Okay. What we'll do here is this across like this. We can also put, oops. So this is going to be kind of hard to pull off because of the way it's being done. And let's see here, put this like this. But you still have to bring this, going in that direction too. So we're just have to do like this and make it, try to make do with what we can do over here. Another thing we can do is actually make it like that. There we go. So it's not as noticeable that, that these things are not lying on top of each other. So that should be good to go. And then one more thing right over here like that. There you go. Now you're set. We're going to continue putting our half slabs here. And we're going to bring our half slabs out in this direction. And then come out like this. Now, over here we're going to have our turn. So we put a turn like this, and another turn is going to be like this. Now where we're coming is, this is going to be going this way, and this is going to be going that way. So that means we're going to need a block here, and we're actually going to take this block out, and we're going to get ourselves a redstone torch. Put that here. Get ourselves another block here, and then we're going to take our powered rail and go up and around like that. Now this one's going to be coming in from this direction. So again, take your block out, redstone torch, block here, and then up and over like that. And this would be a regular rail. Oops. And this would be a regular rail going into here. This again, be going this way. There we go. So that's how you would handle your turns. Okay. So just follow the track in the direction that we go, and remember to put one of these ramps or these little up and down bumps here to go into the turn each time. We're also going to need to light this place up. So let's go ahead and put some torches in here. Let's put one here, and let's go ahead and put another one over here. There you go. If you want to add sea lanterns, you can do so as well. Just put them right in there, and that should do the trick. Or we can, do a little bit higher like this. I think it looks nicer like that because it's just more centered. Like that, even though it may not line up with what's over there. Similarly to the underground tunnels, you can also have this type of ramp style or a bridge type of thing there, where you have it going over ground as well, so over the ground. And you see over here I've got the bump back ramps to make sure that it only goes one way, or your one-way ramp to make sure it goes only one way. So if anything gets bumped back along the way, you will have this go up and back into that too, and then this one also goes back into that. Also, you may want to have some of the same type of ramps along your stretch of rail whenever you're underground as well, just to make sure that you don't have your carts and your minecart trains going in the wrong direction. I will later on go on a tutorial how to build this, but that's not for today. That'll be for a later tutorial. Well, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy this and found it informative. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. If you have any questions, feel free to put that in the comments section. Do turn in for our next video when we continue on with each little tidbit that I talked about in this episode, which was about the aesthetics of making the underground or tunnel portion of your rail look nice, and having a brief overview of how we can make it look nice in the overworld. This is CheckDFX sign off. I will see you in the next video. Peace.